So this is Nakatomi here. Let me turn on the overhead light. A little easier to see. So my filtration is a 40-gallon breeder. And you see the two buckets. The lower bucket is a deep sand bed, approximately 9 inches of sand. These are 5-gallon buckets from Lowe's Craftsman brand. I like them because they're stackable. They're easily modifiable to what I needed to. Obviously, putting bulkheads in them makes it easier to have flat side versus round. Kind of shitty view, but lots of algae, Kato, also marine pure, like those gems as private medium. Right. My ATO is a reef breeder. It's kind of a little tricky. It kind of gets pissed off from time to time. Doesn't want to work. Sometimes it works. Return behind it is a J-Bell 10K, like one of the original runs. Oversized skimmer. It's rated for like upwards of 400 gallons. It's a core box DC9. This thing's absolutely monstrous. Got this from Russell. Still trying to implement it. It's been a little finicky with the little sensor and stuff like that. Wanting to run whenever I don't want it to eat more, you know what I mean? Aqua UG9 or 57 or something like that. So I implemented this about this time last year on my original run of dinos. It helps tremendously. And the way it's fed is through a manifold that goes up, feeds it, comes down, feeds the bucket. The bucket goes through the back return, and I have an emergency just in case. Goes through down and actually gently feeds the sand, just like a nice sheet of water. Actually comes out the front. It's kind of hard to see, but it comes out the front of the bucket, meets the weir of the baffle. So I'm just getting off a feeding cycle. That's what's kicking up right now. Back in this little corner is my DIY calc reactor. Jordan should recognize that guy. It's been pretty killer on being consistent, being able to be ran for, it's like 3 minutes every hour, every other hour, something like that, for approximately the last year. With the bulkhead up top feeding it by that J-Bow, or sorry, that Kimower Pro T X2 or whatever. And then it just goes down that line. And so the emergency drain usually has a little bit of a trickle that helps mix it up, just make sure it's always has water flow going past it. Under Jim's not guidance or recommendation, I really did like what he was talking about, and I've been wanting to get into trace. So I've been using this for, I don't know, several months now with no issues. A weird growth anomaly, but I don't know if it can contribute to that. So here's my light rack. It's completely floating, as you can see. 48-inch AliExpress bars, along with two Uno V1s. And I was running these end lights as filler, just because the way the tank has been, it's kind of hard, like it has a lot of overpowering shadows, which I've come to like, so that's the turning off. They're not bad lights. I'd like to repurpose them though for another system. Right now the flow It's all J-Bow MLW 30s. I like it. I don't know. People bitch about the app. It's not too bad, to be honest. I guess you have to be more confident than the app is to be able to use it. I hate saying it that way, but I believe in heavy flow. I think, obviously we know the natural environment is pretty heavy on flow. You just have to understand how to, um, I guess, best put your stock so they don't get ripped, right? So you have the torches, the rock spawn, some other LPS. You have the Duncan, kind of in the nooks and the crannies. Galaxia kind of likes high flow. Um, so, and on these guys, I have them in two sets. So I have the back set and the front set, and they alternate throughout the day, trying to do an even flow. So these MLW 30s, it's like 3,400 gallons per hour, and you have two on 100% and two on 50%. So, you do the math, that's upwards of like 10,000 gallons per hour on flow and just the pumps, not alone, I don't know, probably another 1,200 from the return. Dual return. Started with dry rock, tried seeding it with various different bacterias back in, I don't know, probably summer of 22. Actually, maybe the spring of 22, I started and let it run, ghost feed it for a while. I was still a little disappointed whenever I started because, I don't know, a couple months in, I was still getting the uglies. Probably bad, pretty bad, to be honest. I know it's kind of unavoidable, but I don't know. I guess just all the effort that I put into it, I would have imagined it would have just been better. So I think next time, if I do end, decide to go like another system, I'd like to buy just outright live rock, even if from another hobbyist, and try to like quarantine it, make sure there's no pests. Um, as you can see, you have a lot of domes and tiles and stuff like that. I don't know. I like the idea. Just give it a little more space, and eventually, most of the stuff's going to go on tiles similar to that guy. Once they kind of overgrow their tiles or their domes, dome piece like this Pestria back there and the lepto there, um, just gives it a little bit more ability to be able to remove the pieces if need be. Um, it's a big haul from last weekend. Um, I do like acros a lot to learn, obviously, but I've been doing it on and off for about the last 10 years. Acros, I like encrusters as well, hence these guys. My fish stock right now is three blue prints, as you can see. Melanaris, I also have a longnose hawk, the Royal Grandma, and somewhere around here, oh, you might be able to see his head, just above the left of Duncan. There's a red spotted Blenny, a lot of character, a lot of personality. Um, for other stock, I also have Trocus, Estrella, snails, some Seraph, and we have, as you can see, one of these little bastards, which is kind of funny. His parent is, brother's skeleton, urchins from Chad Lawson. So I actually got a 10 pack, and it helps tremendously with overgrown algae. So up here in the corner, it's a little needs cleaned. This view is kind of shitty, but there's a bunch of different streams in there and stuff. Like I said, trying to be able to take advantage of the flow, you have to understand what you can and can't keep. I wanted to be able to have a shroom box, so I ended up buying a quarantine box. It's I think it's like 8 by 8 by 16, so it's rather large, but it's up out of the way. And like fortunately, like the angle of the lights and stuff, it's you still got light to the LPS up front. It's pretty cool. Trying to think what else. I use a Hydros, um, which I've been pretty fortunate. Sorry, putting the feeder back on. Been pretty fortunate in matching up some different items to Hydros, although they're not actually OEM Hydros. So like the OEM for hydrous is like Tuya based stuff. So I found this for like, I don't know, 20, 25 bucks off Amazon. It was a little bit of a pain in the ass to get going, but it works. Um, so it's a C4, Control 4, and an XP8. And I also have Inkbird's 308 with a replaceable probe. So, those things can go bad. I just wanted to be able to replace it. I'm pretty terrible in the electronics, as you can see. Obviously there's 80 gallons of water on top of an electronic bar. So, um, I'd like to be able to get another circuit, blue tape on the wall, just to be able to not have it draped over. What's up?
That was just a funny sound, but it made me laugh out loud.
Oh, you're good. No worries. Um,
Hey, Zach, dude, your colors are looking phenomenal, man. I'm
Thank you.
drooling.
Um,
Everything's growing out super far on all of those mounds. It definitely
yeah.
looks like stuff has grown since the last tour, like without a doubt.
Yeah, boy.
Um, yeah, honestly, I think this has probably been my best growth, my fastest growth. Like I got the strawberry shortcake, and it's hard to see from the other side, the angle, but it's already starting to graft to the tile or the plate. Like you can't really see it, but it is grabbing right there, right in front of you.
Winner.
Oh, word.
So like even like I don't know, those purple ones, and everybody obviously know Monties grow stupid fast. That's why I love them. They fill out rather quickly, and a lot of them have gorgeous colors. Unfortunately, that orange is a little overpowering right now, but there's also some green, a little bit of dot of blue, and rainbow. Um, I'm trying to think what else. So obviously, you can see I do run a bare bottom, even though I have a Melanaris. I do keep a sand bucket for him, and he likes it. It's actually just like an old Pyrex baking dish. I just repurposed. Um, Trying to think what else. I guess just a general take a look things.
Does
There's
he
a little,
swim over there and sleep there then?
yeah. He'll bury himself in that sand bed. So
That's
that's
sweet.
you see all that sand everywhere in the back.
Yeah,
That's him. Yeah, just kicking up the sand.
it's funny.
So yeah. Um. So this was bought as a refurb, and there's two bulkheads right there. I didn't like the direction it was going, or the I guess the general look of that plain black, and I wanted to be able to have a true peninsula without an unimpeded view, or with an unimpeded view. Sorry. Um. So I ended up drilling the back. I used I think it's a Fiji 800 gallon per hour return box or overflow box. It was actually a ding and den sale, so I got it off, I don't know, like 50 bucks or something. And I didn't see any perceivable like dings or dents, scratches, anything scuffed. It's worked pretty well. The PVC up top's not stock, so I wanted to be able to quiet it down. And on one of my previous systems on the overflows, I had this thing called a Maggie muffler. I don't know if anyone here knows that, but a Maggie muffler helps control the air to help control the sound. So like instead of just like full open hole and like a lot of sloshing, it's more of a like quiet siphon. It's pretty slim blocks. I like it. It's a little loose. I don't think the PVC is proper size. It's not like it's gonna like just fall out and shit like that, but I don't know. So room's a bit of a wreck. It's pretty much like the main universe of the tank and stuff. We have various different shit. We have like cleaning shit, testing shit, dosing shit, random shit, pools, medication, carbon, some other dosing. So it's like liquid dosing. If I need to help maintain stuff, so like calcium chloride and alkalinity soda ash. I use Hannah's as well as uh, Sallyford's. I do like Sallyford's. They're pretty quick. They're pretty reliable. Shoot this. This is my water system. 230. It's 232-gallon brutes. So I'm like 5'11", and so like I come up to about here. So like this guy's, I don't know, 50 something inches ish, right up to about the ceiling. RODI fed through the basement. That is a floor vent I put in about last year to be able to help control humidity in the room, along with this guy. So it's a humidistat from Inkbird that runs two muffin fans, two 120 millimeter fans in that guy, and actually need a minute apparently, but down there it goes down to the basement for the floor raptors, the flooring joists, and it goes down there. And we run a rather large dehumidifier down in the basement, and just helps control humidity in the house and stuff like that.
So that's taking air from that room to the basement.
Yes. So I also have a floor box fan that helps blow it, like most of the humid air over here, and then it gets stuck down. The sensor for this little bastard is right here. I don't know how accurate it is, but it seems to do pretty well. Like you can tell, like right now it's running. I don't know if you can actually hear the higher pitch noise, but it's running right now. And so I set that to 60. So it takes off at 60 and it gets it down to 55. So like my goal in this room is to keep it around 55. So it does cycle throughout the day. Obviously with outdoors humidity, it can vary. Drier day is going to be a little drier in here. It gets sucked out naturally. A little bit more humid outside, rainstorm or whatever. This will just be running and running and running. So I have to pull it, just floor over here. It's kind of garbage area. Got to clean it up. I did talk about this the other day. I'd like to be able to have another system, something like a 4-foot, maybe a 6-foot system. So it's a bit of a U. It'd be kind of cool. Some paintings of friends did over the years. Kraylin Eisel. No one really knows him, but he's pretty cool, talented. Kind of got in before everyone else started doing the acrylic pour. Stan.
Is that stuff all UV paint where it'll glow?
Yeah. Yeah, one sec.
Those are cool.
UV paint.
Very cool.
Yeah. Still going for painting, but he's got a part-time job now. Just trying to, sure, Stan is just a generic 2x4 stand. For the longest time, I've built stands. I've just preferred knowing my hands. I would say I really enjoy that aspect. A lot of this is DIY, as you can tell. The light rack is 3/4 EMT conduit. This was a tabletop from Lowe's. Sanded it, stained it. A little shitty and rough, but still, I like the shelf space. A lot of space.
Yeah, I use the same butcher block from Lowe's for my computer desk. I got an 8-foot piece. That's fantastic.
Yeah. Oh,
so
yeah.
much space. And then with the light rack, you have it mounted to the wall.
Yes.
So how's it also held up since it's so long? How do you keep it from sagging since it's kind of cantilever there? Okay.
So that buckle there, and so it's actually grabbing on right here via the cable and an eye screw, an eyelet. So I tapped this 3/4 inch piece, put a nut in the inside before I obviously joined the EMT to it, tightened it about as tight as I could, and then put that on. And there's these little crimp blocks, crimp key things that keep the cable from getting jacked up. And so we got this guy. You turn it into a spot, and I actually I don't know where the spirit level is, but it was sagging bad, really bad, and it was just an eyesore. I don't know, I'm a touch OCD whenever it comes to things that I have to do. I'm just very particular in the way I like things.
I think
And
it's
so
really clever.
here
You can't tell that cable's there at all. I mean, I think Jake in the Reef Builder studio has that kind of thing, but he's got cables directly up to the ceiling, which is really, it catches your eye. That's almost invisible.
and the fortunate thing is, so my wife, she's I don't know, 5'4" ish, maybe. I think the biggest thing I wanted to be able to do whenever I did this light rack, and it's hard to see. One sec. What I wanted to do is to be able to have it semi shiftable. Like if I need the lights in a different position, so to speak, without crashing into each other, I can move things. Um, Moving needs to be a little bit of a pain in the ass. They hold the 4-foot light bars. But where I was going with her height, she can walk up to the tank without being absolutely blinded. Completely opposable. So try to help get around the shadows and stuff like that. See this guy. That was actually a pickup from Menards. It's a makeup organizer thing, and I use it as a look down. It's like I don't know, like $3 or $4 versus having to go acrylic and stuff like that. So, here's most of my food, my daily dosing station food.
That's a really good idea too, because a square, when you have a phone with a camera lens, probably fits
Yeah.
in there better than the circle ones.
Well, so I honestly, fuck. I honestly have another one. It's a touch small. Like it's good if you don't need to use the filter. Like don't give a shit per se. But um, with the filter, it's absolutely needed. You know. Anyways, trying to think. You guys have any questions, thoughts, concerns, ideas, things you want to ask about, know about?
Yeah, I can't remember what you said. What are those strips you have? Did you say those were?
So they're from AliExpress. They're AliExpress 48-inch, 450 nanometer spectrum. So like, baby blue, or not baby blue, but deep blue that we are typical to seeing in the hobby. I don't want to say on recommendation. I was kind of sold. I like the blue look. I do like a bit of the Windex look, but I don't know. Just looking at different various papers and stuff like that, just knowing that what light typically reaches down to where most of the corals come from to really give it a punch. I just ended up going after these bars. Trying to think what else.
Yeah, I need to get some bars for the front of my tank and angle it down because the coral's growing so much. I'm starting to get everything shaded out, and I've been looking for bars. And I don't really like the blue look, but I wonder if my whites can overpower those. I don't know.
Well, so that's the beauty of it, Jim. They come, I think if I remember, they do have mixed spectrum bars. So it's not just blue. Like there is, I think like a 50-50 or even two. Like my understanding is you can actually ask or reach out to them and custom make it for like an extra couple bucks. Like we're talking like $2 to $3. So for like these two bars, I ended up paying less than $100. Like I honestly think it was something about $96 or something like that. No
And
issue.
who's the is it Luca, whatever, Mahina corals or whatever?
Yeah.
Like you were saying, I think he's got like 3 different spectrums in his bars.
Yeah. So he has Meso, Daylight. Yeah. I think it's like 3 to 5. Um, I'd like to be able to go after his bars. They're still a good price point and they're really, really good punch. So the way he does it is double diodes. So instead of having single diodes under the secondary optic, you have double diodes driven less, so underdriven. So you have better thermal control as well as better blending and more lux, like more par and light, like intensity without having all the power being eaten up and stuff like that. So, no, I'd like to be able to do that, but unfortunately, I have set of two in the back. So gonna just repurpose them as well. They're not bad bars. I don't know. I mean, they're pretty solid. They actually have little like gaskets for sealant. I honestly think they'd be moisture proof up to a certain point. Like I don't know what IP rating, but misting maybe further.
Zach, are they like adjustable at all, like power wise, or
No,
is it just like on off?
it's on off. I keep them as on off. Relatively cheaply, you might be able to replace the driver to a dimmable driver. This might be dimmable. I just haven't fucked with it. I can see if I can find the other driver.
Yeah, and all that stuff is over my head when it comes to like the Alley E and picking your own spectrum and figuring out what driver to use to make it dimmable. I get it's awesome that people have the knowledge to do that and can find a more budget friendly option, but that's where I just have to pay for a company to spoon feed it to me.
Fuck yeah.
So like, go ahead, Jim. Sorry.
Is that what it's who's the guy who Orphic that does the bars?
So his
are just on off too, aren't they?
I want to say he might have some higher end bars that that might be more controllable, tunable, but I really don't think so. I think typically your bars right now, unless your bars on the market from Reef Bright, our friend, Mr. Metal Halid himself.
Yippee-ki-yay, motherfucker.
To Orphic, to Luca, to AliExpress, even Jay, whenever Jay was doing light bars, various people. I'm fairly certain that no one has controllable in two senses, either dimming or controllable in the sense of like a black box where you have two knobs and you can say like, oh, well, I want more of a 12K look instead of a 20K, or I like daylight, so I'm going to turn off the blues. Like, I don't think there is anything on the market for that type of shit. I think maybe there is a market, but I just think it's just not maybe cost effective, and people just start saying like, "Hey, why don't you just go full blown bar or full blown lights at that point?" But
yeah, well, most people I think just use them as additional lighting, and
so
it's.
Jim, are you not struggling to work out the difference between a bar, a pub, and a pube?
Pube and a saloon.
That's the one.
Or a sedan.
Sedan, yeah.
I don't know the difference. I got another question, Zach. On your power head, you have that Jabo. And it's the Wi-Fi version.
Yes.
How do you have Jabo non-Wi-Fi version pumps? You have, right? They all have the same type of little control box. What kind of control do you get on the Wi-Fi version versus just is there anything different?
So yes. I'm trying to think, is there screen sharing on this? Do you know, Ron, if that's a thing?
Yeah, it's definitely a thing. So down the very bottom of the Zoom screen, it should say share screen.
Yeah. Fuck. Only the host can share this meeting.
Oh, you gotta change the setting, Ron. Go in there and say everybody can.
Fuck.
Don't worry about it. Don't worry about it. I'll show you later.
There will be.
Fucked it up again, Ron.
No, it's all good. Don't worry about it. Well, I'll in the after meeting or something like that. I can show you. Show you the app, its function. So, like I said earlier, so these two are timed. So the two groups are timed. As far as I know, as far as I remember in the past, having dummy JBL pumps, these are synced to change at the same time. Like you have master and slave, but this is a touch different in the sense that with the master and slave, I'm fairly certain that like, so this is on everything. This is on wave, but whenever they alternate, they also change type of flow. But yeah.
But can you within the Wi-Fi program for Jabo, do you program it from the app or do you program it from that little box?
So for the further things I'm mentioning from the app, but you can, I don't know if I want to do this right now without breaking it. It's kind of a pain in the dick to read, but there is further controllability. There is controllability via this, like, little fucking doodad bebop, but like it goes a touch further in the app.
So, like in the app, can you designate time frames? Like run this setup for this period of time, this setup for this period of time?
Yes, 100%. So,
and then I would assume it's like their other Wi-Fi, like Wi-Fi systems, the Jabo shit, where everything's stored within the box. So if your power goes out, your Wi-Fi goes out, it just continues running the program that was set.
Do you mean whenever the power comes back? Because if the power is out, then I'm not going to have power to run the pump yet.
Well, I mean, if your power goes out in your house and you have backup power but you don't have Wi-Fi, right, and the pump comes back on, it just runs off of whatever the last program was or the entire program, like timing and everything. Do you know?
That's a good question. No, I don't. Honestly, I don't. That's a really good question, though.
So say it comes back on when you got full power on, and you like it to go to low power at night, but your Wi-Fi never comes back on. Does it just continue running full power, or does it inside the box? Does it have a memory that runs whatever was set up?
Very good questions, Jim. Hopefully, I can learn that one day.
Well, you don't want to, but
that box right there. That box right there is a 100 amp hour battery I want to do.
Do you have any other cunty questions that people won't be able to answer, Jim?
Yeah, I'm thinking of them. I'm a stumper. I want to be the dick. If Scotty was here, I'd be just trying to fuck with him the whole time.
Oh, go ahead. Do whatever you want.
Ron will edit it out. It's okay. Let it fly.
So you're building a battery, or you want to build a battery?
Yeah, battery backup. It seems relatively simple, to be honest. So that's 100 amp hour. I'd like to be able to have, I don't know, another battery or two, just as an emergency, until I get home, say from work, or say something notifies me and says, "Hey, your shit's been out for too long." I try to check out my camera. Well, oh shit, my camera won't let me get on because obviously the Wi-Fi is dead. Therefore, I have no power. There is automatic switches out there that you can wire in a way that the shit will be on ground, like normal power, your full power. And the second it senses there's a death, like, no power, it'll swap to your battery. They're relatively cheap. I guess it depends if you're DIY or if you want to buy it outright. Like there's a service out there called Reefbox. Some of us know the person or of the person through another person, Lynn Nguyen. Her associate or friend is the inventor of that guy. It's just a pre-made product of a backup battery switcher. Seems like a good product. I'm not really interested in spending that much money. It's like $100. I'm just not interested in spending that much money whenever I know I could do it myself with a little bit of know-how and save like $80. So, but Fuck. Questions, things you want to see?
Your sandbox. Do you
Yes.
like I've used sandboxes in quarantines and stuff, and the RASs always spill all the sand.
Yep.
Yours doesn't make a complete mess of that corner.
Oh no, I would say. I mean, it's out there. Occasionally, it gets on the Monty, it gets on the Fridays. Like it's up on the rock right there.
Yeah, but I mean, like half the sand's gone within 3 days out
Oh
in
yeah,
the tank.
yeah. No, this has been like this for a year.
Yeah, that's cool.
Yeah, fuck. There's an appetizer. Damn. Oh.
And you don't have
I
any
have a
problems
question.
with your royal grandma being a dick?
So he
Little asshole. I'm an asshole. I'm not the one who just got butt fucked on national TV, Dwayne.
So it is a bit of an asshole. In a good way though. It defends itself. But so he always chills here between this rock ledge, under this rock ledge, and under this rock ledge. But where's my finger? That hole right there. He sleeps and hangs out in that hole at night, but in daylight, he fights the Blenny for possession of that hole. So a lot of times Blenny will be a dick, sit in that hole, and he does this thing like, but yeah, can't find him. But yeah, no, he's a chill dude. Does what he needs to do, hangs out, eats. Model citizen typically.
That's funny. I had a royal grandma that was fairly bold, but then I added a starry goby from biota, and even though the starry goby was way smaller, it scared the shit out of the royal grandma. And the royal grandma wouldn't go in the rocks anymore. It just hung out near the top of the tank, and I ended up rehoming it.
Yeah. I'm excited for that little guy right there. So it's kind of didn't clean this front glass, but it's a Blasco. Got it from Jeff actually. It's pretty cool. It's like peach colored, bit of a teal. I think there's like, I don't know, 4 or 5 babies around the edge. Can't wait for it to grow out. It's gonna be really cool looking. Shit, I don't know. Any other thoughts, feelings, concerns, ideas?
How are you doing with your sorry, go on.
Your calc reactor, is it connected to your controller? Like, how do you have it turning on for 3 minutes every hour or whatever?
So it is, and it is actually connected via the hydros. So it's controlled the hydros. Turns on and off based off pH. Set points that I have. So whenever you set up a calc reactor inside the system, it gives you 2 things. Typically, most calc reactors in some way have some form of disturbing the calc to be able to have it back in solution. So you set up 2 things. You set up a pump and you set up the stirrer. And it was actually relatively easy, to be honest. So whenever that stirs, and honestly, I wish I could disable this. I don't think there is a way, at least from my understanding or knowledge, because most people don't want to dose the calc dust. Honestly, it's not that bad in a slow manner or having an understanding of it. But every time that cycles and does a kick up, give me a sec, I can kick up.
Fancy. Did you start a GoFundMe for that tablet?
No, but it's gonna need a paint job and a shitload of screen doors.
Can we get it all out of the way now since Ron's going to be editing this point?
Is there
a boxwood picture on there?
All right, we're going to status device.
Right, everybody just got all your shit talk out of the way right now. Let's go.
So it's calc reactor. I don't control the pump in the on-off. I only control it via tank input with the pH probe. Here's my on off. So on at 8:10, off at 8:15. And this is where you start getting into stir territory. So stir run, I think it's actually I don't remember. I just know it's in intervals of 3 hours and on for 3 minutes. So, but that's all the fucker I understand. So,
I do not trust probes enough for like things like pH. I like the idea that I can just dose a certain volume and then adjust according to testing. But a lot of people running controllers are basing it on pH, and I'm like, I don't like. I know they drift over time, and I just don't trust myself to check that shit.
do 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 do. With regular calibration, I don't know. That's pretty much about the most I trust myself with this type of shit. Um, it's pH. It's not really all that applicable per se, but
Right.
um. So here's this guy, which I think I killed this last time. Actually, I turned this back on. Maybe. Come on, you fuck. Okay, cool. So return, it's pretty cool. You can see different little things. There's the approximate wattage. Do skimmer next. Okay. Currently I'm straining the Wi-Fi network right now. Very cool. Skimmer, approximate wattage. Calc stir is actually going. Probably hit a low, and so it's trying to drive back up to 8.15.
So you're saying approximate power usage there. So is that not actual power monitoring? Is that
No, it's
assuming what's getting used?
No, it's power monitoring. But the thing is, it's really funny is the skimmer. Damn it! Come on. The skimmer will say like this will say this for the skimmer, but if you go to the skimmer controller, it says slightly off. That's why I use approximations. Like I don't ever kind of like Jordan is saying right now. I trust things, but to a degree, I guess you could say. So like the Inkbird is still controlling this all. I have a second probe to help make sure that I'm not varying too much. Like this to me is acceptable.
So does your second probe like turn off does it have the same control as well? Or is it just kind of like for your double checking?
Right now it's for my double checking. I'm fairly certain that you could or I could, if I understood it better and I wasn't such an idiot, could probably use that as a backup. I would have to get in touch with Jeff though, but I don't know. Maybe that's worth looking into. I don't know, but yeah. Actually, I want to show something.
Thanks, Jordan, for coming up with the question. So I'm not the only dick that stumped him. Hey, Zach, do you have everything hooked up to the hydros?
Nope.
Pumps, everything, or
no? J-Bow is entirely separate. J-Bow flow pumps is entirely separate. Say it that way. I have my return and my skimmer on here. So damn it, I'll just go back. If I were to start a feed cycle right now, so my food doesn't get sucked down the fucking drain because everything floats, at least until I can get a print going. This controls my it's called a feeder output, or at least it's like a fuckery kind of getting around certain things. So whenever the feeder says, hey, I'm scheduled to feed, it feeds 3 times throughout the day, first feeding at 9 a.m. And it goes 3 hours. So it's 9, noon, and 3. That in mind, there's different dependencies and inputs that you can make where the return return depends on feeder output. So whenever the feeder output says, hey, dumbass, turn off, it turns off. And the feeder output is based on how this work. I can't remember how this worked. I can't remember if it's just a time thing and it just matches. I think it just syncs. But A58, it kills, damn it. Stop focusing, you fuck. A58, it kills my pumps, it kills my skimmer to allow all the water down the drain, and then 2 minutes later it's whenever the food goes down. There's probably another 8 minutes to 10 minutes until shit gets back, and the skimmer waits until all the water is back in the tank or out of the sump, and it's back to its normal level. And so there's like an extra 2 minutes that this guy's off. No, not everything's on it. My lights aren't on it. Neither of the two sets are lights. So I still use smart outlets for some things. The lights themselves are smart enough. They just based off the web, the internet. That little guy up there is a little screen says the IP address. I don't want that out there, obviously. Some smart cookies here. Yeah, I don't know.
Can you talk us through Nakatomi as a single structure, not just the entire sump, what that entire thing does and what runs to it and what runs from it?
So the input output,
like as if you were John McClane being driven up to the building by Argyle.
It has to be Die Hard related.
Hey, I'm John McClane.
It's about the view you get of Nakatomi. No, I'm terrible.
Do you want to talk about the Christmas music?
Want to talk about buttered sausage?
Now I have a machine gun. Ho, ho, ho.
You're all very polite letting me fuck around with these sound bites.
All right. Well, that's about all.
Ron, I'm on mute because I'm dying. So at least I think it's funny if no one else does.
I really appreciate that because I put a lot of fucking effort into this yesterday. I've not edited them particularly well, but sorry, Zach, back to your tank tour.
See, the silence is loud.
If we were on Discord, I would have dropped the cricket noise.
What's up? Thoughts, questions, ideas? I don't know. I'm terrible at this shit. Like, I'm nervous as fuck.
I have a question, Zach. It's unrelated to the actual system, but you talked about how you would want to start a new system with Live Rock. Would you? So you would basically junk all of your current rock and start with some unknown Live Rock, or would you like? Because I'm obviously looking at upgrading my system, and my thoughts immediately go to take my current rock and chuck it into the new system to kind of get that going.
Well, I guess it depends on the scenario situation. In my case, I want, so like the idea with the secondary system, like the additional system, I want to tie it into this. I would like to take a look at the feasibility of using Live Rock. But like I said, I wanted to quarantine it. So like fallow, make sure there's no pests, all that fun shit, bristleworms, or fireworms, you know, blah, 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 blah. Gorilla crabs. Sorry, we're staring at the stump. I guess I want to take more of a look into that type of stuff, but I would like to, if it were an entirely separate system, yeah, no, full blown Live Rock. With this type of scenario, I'd like to do Live Rock, but I don't know if it punk up my biome anymore. Like, it's semi-stable now. It's taken a fucking year through asshole hardships like dinos, dinos again, and a couple other things. It's like, fuck, man. Like, I don't want to go through this again.
Yeah.
But at the same time, like I don't think you can escape the ugly live rock either. And it's also I'm not made of fucking money.
Right.
So
Well, my thoughts are like I know what algae and pests that I have. Obviously, like the uglies will rear its head again in a new tank, but at least I know that it's not covered in aptasia or something, right? Like,
right.
How much room do you have in your sump? Like if I were to do what you're doing and thinking about tying another system into this one system, I would just start loading up monthly with 5 pounds of dry rock in the sump or somewhere tied into the system to just start building a bio until the point where I have 50 pounds of rock ready to go into a new tank.
So there's really not much room.
Yeah.
It's like there's room, but at the same time, it's like, not a great idea.
just add a third bucket.
Yeah, right.
I mean, you're saying there's room. Where the fuck is room?
There's no room. I never said room. So there's no room.
I thought you said, no, there is room.
Hold on a second. So like I said, I have some stuff in here, like marine pure gems, a little bit of rubble.
Oh, that's cool.
I also have rock and those guys. Yeah, okay. Thanks, iPhone. But fucking bubble algae. Yeah, so that's my major pest is bubble algae everywhere. You don't see it, but it's out there. It exists. It's a fucking pain in the ass.
Oh yeah, I hate bubble algae.
Does anyone truly have a 100% pest free tank? Like 100%?
I don't think
Jim does.
I don't think there is such a thing.
No, Jim's get bubble algae too.
I got bubble algae. I got aptasia.
No, I just like to throw them all in day one, and then it's just out of the way.
You know what? That's actually a really decent comment, Zach, because get all the stress and strain out the way, just throw it in and just be fucking done with it.
Just add bristleworms.
Yep.
Oh, I don't give a fuck about bristleworms.
Nah, me neither.
I bought them from IPSF.
I think they're pretty important. I've had
You're going to get them anyways.
Yeah,
and people think they're
every
fireworms.
Single frag. I have them on every single frag that you'll pick up, probably. Just a little tiny baby one.
Yeah, just do it inevitable before it happens. So what I'm going to do is I'm going to Stanley knife the seal on this new reefer right now.
I don't have bristleworms in my main display.
Go get the forklift, Ron.
Thanks, Russ.
I just say I don't have bristleworms yet because I know it's just a matter of a timeline.
Or are you just not aware you have bristleworms?
Yeah, that's possible.
Biffing them.
Usually it's just a feeding relation.
So what are we doing? We good? We happy?
It's just sweet, man.
Thank
It's a lot of fucking frags.
This is really nice.
What's in the two stacks? Sorry to keep going back to Nakatomi. I'm trying to keep the theme going, but what's in the two lower boxes below the bubble algae box?
Oh, yeah. So the below box, that's sand. That's a deep sand bed in there. Be a bitch to fucking show you, but I can if you want. Not really going to see anything. So,
So how does the water run in the top and then down through, or is it?
Yeah. So the water goes up through the UV down this line into the bottom, into this bucket.
And there's an overflow in there.
So see that nozzle down there?
Yes.
There's two. So that's a feed. It goes up, comes up, goes through the algae, comes down through this guy, goes down the bucket, that's all fucking calc. Goes and feeds this bucket, and it just gently goes across the top of the sand to not disturb it.
So, am I right in thinking that your tank turnover is really slow?
Well, I would say yes, but I'm unsure because this is a very large pump on the lowest setting.
Yeah, but I just mean to look at the flow going through that top section in Nakatomi and down through the sandbed and stuff. It looks like it's a very controlled, slow, almost like a trickle, almost. So I'm just wondering what your tank turnover is.
Well, I think the general tank turnover is higher than you're thinking because that's hold on, fuck, I'm trying to get to a spot. Jesus Christ, I should have made this better. All right, so fuck. God damn it. That's a lot of water. I mean, it's a good bit of water coming down. I don't know how much.
Yeah,
but
that's a lot more than just when you showed us the top section of the tower. It looked really, really calm.
Oh yeah, yeah. I mean, it is through the box, but that's, I mean, like I said, that's just a manifold, right? So like that inch and a half in the back, that's my true return.
Right. That's where I've been totally confused. I thought your entire return was going through that. Sorry.
No. So return up and then manifold T's. It goes up.
Got you.
Yeah. So nope.
Did you make that sump?
What do you mean?
Is that,
yes. It's a
like,
that's a baffle. It's a baffle kit. Would I do it again? Probably, but at the same time, it's very cramped. I should have honestly gone after a 60-gallon breeder. So this is a 40-gallon breeder. So last tank from Aqueon at Petco. Some guy on eBay makes pre-made kits. You can find like a bunch of different people, but I've been eyeing up this specific one for a long time. It's quality. It's nice. It's designed supposedly to be a quote unquote Triton style sump. It's not. If you actually looked into the definition of that type of shit, it really isn't, but it doesn't really matter. I just wanted to be able to have a large refugium. And so like this bucket stuff wasn't in the initial design. If you actually look at the initial start of the tank, I originally was going to do just a large fuse, except for I hate how cruddy sumps can get. Like this is cruddy, but it can be siphoned out. But if you throw, a light on this, it's just going to be algae, etc., just catching detritus. So like fortunately, like most of the catch of the detritus in this bucket, which can be easily siphoned. I know I have a little detritus trap here and a little detritus trap back there, but it's like that's all easily manageable. I feel like if I had a true refugium in the section, that would just be cumbersome in my understanding, my experience. But
so it probably still happens in the buckets, but you at least can't see it. Is that the idea, or do you actually like siphon out the buckets?
I mean, so like the idea of the buckets is to, like a bit of it is compartmentalizing your ugly.
Yeah.
So like you saw all the bubble algae, and like there's a lot of bubble algae in this. But there's no bubble algae in this. It's just a bunch of these little fucking worms and shit like that. And a little bit of detritus down there, but like all that's easily manageable. All this shit's in there, and it's like I don't fucking want to look at that. I don't want to see it in my fucking display. I don't want to see it in my sump.
Yeah.
So I mean that's just my personal choice again in this type of shit. But No, I don't know. I recently shared the so I recently shared the video where the fuse bucket came. It's Abe at Coral Euphoria. Um, he's got some interesting ideas. He's got some interesting concepts. He's a very good grower for acros. Um, I like his philosophy: heavy in, heavy out. I think with time, I don't think heavy in and heavy out is necessarily a good thing for early systems. I think you have to be mature. Your system has to be mature in the sense of biological control and shit like that. But um, I do believe in that type of system as well as obviously I've talked about high flow. But um, oh, pretty good, bud. Um, I don't know. It's a very unique system, I guess.
It's fucking
Everything.
badass system, honestly.
Eh. Oh,
What
this
does
is
that
a
take?
20-gallon ATO. So it feeds the ATO right here, which is the sensor, and then it also feeds the cow. So um, that little port back there is the cow, and then I got lazy with the ATO. So yeah, pretty much ever since Ron ever talked about it, I put all my plates down in the fucking sump now. I honestly think that helps a lot. It's a very good idea, Ron. Um, oh yeah, fuck, I didn't show this. So my skimmer is actually fed with a line outside. Don't do this. Your wife will be pissed. I drilled the window.
Fucking hell. Does she know?
Yeah, she knew.
Just drill holes in the house. Just
Yeah,
drill
fuck it.
holes in the house. Just drill holes in the house.
Yeah.
Put a couple little O-rings around there. It'll seal off.
That'll be fine.
I mean, you could put like a little fitting or something there if you wanted to clean it up. I mean, it looks fine.
Well,
You
I
know,
mean,
and
fortunately,
a curtain, and nobody will ever know it's there.
yeah. See,
Till you sell.
I'm not worried about that. So, fortunately, I didn't like cut into the weather stripping and shit like that. I mean, this can be touched up, but this could be honestly, I'm not worried about this. A little bit of
Oh, did the head of your drill just rub the trim?
it did.
Get a little white paint.
Wobble.
Cover that shit up.
Yeah, so I tried twice.
So so that's weatherproofing painter's tape on the first hole.
I thought the tape was there to touch up the paint.
Nope.
Zach, you make me feel better about myself because that is absolutely some shit I would do. Straight up, that is me, 100%. Oh, fuck, I missed on the first try. Here, let me stick a little tape over that. It's all good. Fuck it.
Yeah. I mean, a little bit of silicone later in life, that'll be fine. Honestly, I actually need to cut this post though. Get a little bit of like gunk or dust or whatever in it, but no, it's so I actually have it run through carbon steel light. It's actually right beside a garage. So
how much of a difference did you see in your pH with running that line, Zach?
I'd say like on average probably like 0.1, maybe sometimes 0.2. I guess it kind of depends on like time of year. So like right now I'd say probably a better boost. I guess I really don't know or understand the makeup of the air outside. But like honestly, it helps. It helps. Whenever I was just running the tank without doing that, I was getting like 7.7, 7.8. This can help me sustain at 8.
Well, it's certainly cheaper than running CO2 scrubber. That's what I do. I use that Phonomer and Skim Breeze. It does an absolutely amazing job.
Yeah, the line fit. Yeah, it's expensive though. It's just expensive as fuck, man. I'm not telling you. That's just one thing I couldn't with this system. Like I couldn't do crazy expensive reoccurring costs. So hence calc, hence bulk traces. For the most part, most of my coral I think I might have a couple $60 pieces, but as you guys know, like this last week, I spent every single one of these pieces, including so like that torch was free. That was a gift at the door. $10 frog, $20 all these fucking aggros each. $20. The F float, $20.
Can you stick your filter back on for us, Zach, just so we can see the colors?
What's up? What's wrong?
Can you stick your filter back on?
Yeah. Give me one sec.
There we go.
These are all the new pieces?
Yeah, so all these in your view right here, minus Duncan, is new.
How's that Eshinata doing?
It's doing well, actually. It seems to be coming back up in that spot that I was concerned about during Jim's tour.
Oh, yeah.
Like that little spot, right about there, seems to be doing better. It's getting color again. I was really, really concerned because last time I tried Econauta, it didn't last long in my system. I mean, obviously this is early on, but this is at a time whenever I had, I can't zoom in, unfortunately, with Zoom, but which is kind of ironic. But the acro to the left is Satosa. I had Satosa then, I had Force Fire. Like I had other SPS, but for some reason at the time, Econauta just seemed to be more sensitive. So unfortunately, that's one of maybe 3 or 4 casualties that I've had in this entire tank for the last like year. But
I've got a Econauta I've now had for over a year, and every 2-3 months it just starts to die from the base, and I cut a tiny tip off, and the tiny tip survives, and then it grows up to a nice chunky frag, and then it all dies again. And right now it's just starting to regrow, and I don't know what is going wrong with it.
I never had luck with smooth skins. Econauta's killed a bunch of them, and then what was it, a Fox Flame? Same thing. It would be going gangbusters, and then poof, just gone overnight.
Between like one variety, Soharis and like I love smooth skins. Very unique, but you're exactly like same deal. They just don't seem to last long for me. So hopefully this is a turnaround. Hopefully the stability of the system goes and it's going to last for a while.
Yeah, my solution has been to just not add any of them, and fuck it, just isn't going to work out for me.
Like, there's people that can grow the shit out of like bird's nests and stuff like that. Like I had a bird's nest that like did phenomenal, and then like it just decided to say fuck you overnight. I mean, this little PDAM or I think PDAM, it's doing all right though. Like I know they can be a little fucking sketchy too, but
when you say that you've done it, you know, knock on wood, everything's gone well, and you've only lost few frags over that period of time. See, that's what would be like, hell no, I'm not dumping a bunch of live rock and starting a new system and tying it in. It'd be like, I got to figure out a way to just expand what I've got going because it's going well, and I'm not going to introduce fuckery into it.
You're along the
old stick in the bicycle wheel.
Right, 100%. No, you're correct, and that's what I'm really trying to mull over. Is like, if it's even worth the thought of effort. Give me 1 second, guys. If it's even worth fuck me.
When Zach goes off in these little tangents and starts talking and stuff, I cannot stop laughing.
Now's your chance to use more drops, Ron. Get them in while you can.
Cute toy. Yeah, you have to take a leak. It'll even help you find your zipper.
Is that gone? Did he leave us?
No, I'm still here.
Oh, okay.
He's letting the children play, and then once we get out of our system, he will resume.
And it completely ignores the fuckery. Just moves on, like not even an okay now. Back to
100%.
Back to previous viewing. Nope, it's just.
That's how a quality host is supposed to do it. Just ignore the fuckery and move on.
Once we get to the next stage of this tour, Zach, could you, I don't know if you said anything because I was running around for the first minute, But could you walk us through like your maintenance? Like what do you do? When's your water changes? Like are you do you have your nutrients under control now? Are you still dosing for nitrates or
Still dosing. So I'm dosing phosphates currently, and I'm also dosing potassium.
Okay, so maybe you could just say, okay, so this is how I get the system to do this. I do this amount of water change. I dose this amount a day of this or this, and so because I'm interested in over like a period of time, what are you doing consistently that makes your tank look like this? Because it looks great.
How does Nakatomi keep running?
So I don't have my nutrients right now. I've been a bit of a problem and not tested it for probably about a week.
Right, hold on, Zach. We can't hear you. Oh, there we go.
You can hear me. So, all right, one second. Get this back. So these are all the solutions I made up. So nitrate, 10 mils in my system equals 5 ppm. Phosphate, 10 mils equals 0.06. And this 20 mils equals approximately 10 ppm.
Is that written on there, or are you just making that up?
No, I'm not making that up. It's not written in, but it's not made up.
I don't see any blue dye. I don't see any blue dye in that bottle.
So, daily, I've been trying to raise potassium. So whenever I measure potassium twice actually, to confirm the shitty low reading, is 270, which is not good. That's really, really fucking low. And it kind of explains why a lot of my Montes look shitty. You'll find whenever you have a lot of Montes, and actually also 2 Cato, for some reason Montes seem to be susceptible to potassium fuckery.
Show me one shitty looking Monty. Show me one. They all look awesome, man.
Yeah, now. Like ever since I started, honestly, since I started dosing this in the last week, it's been getting better. Like they've been looking better. I'm not saying they look shitty, but like the coloration. So like the coloration in the rainbow is significantly better. It's polyps started taking on 2-3 more colors than usual. Like typically it was just dull, purplish blue body and kind of a mucky brown red polyp. Now it's bright orange. You have yellow, you have green. I see a touch of blue. So like, I mean, it's shitty. You can't see it. I'll take pictures later, but Stylia Chinella there, not a Monty, it's doing better with the addition of potassium. Sorry, I'm having brain fog.
Well, phosphate. I'm glad that you don't think they look shitty, because I don't think so.
So phosphate. Phosphate I've been doing daily. I've been doing 5 mils daily, 0.03 ppm. Haven't measured it, but things seem to be getting better. Coloring, quick growth, very difficult to see, but little dude's finger. Fuck.
What is in that bottle that you're dosing to raise your phosphate, Zach?
So trisodium phosphate. So trisodium phosphate and sodium nitrate. Where'd it go?
Is the TSP that you can buy at like Lowe's or Home Depot or whatever the same as the food grade stuff?
Yeah, I would just question the quote unquote purity. So food grade. I mean, honestly, I'm an idiot though. I'm one to speak. This is fucking driveway salt. It's potassium chloride.
That shit I bought, and I posted a photo of it. It's 110% pure.
What?
Yeah, don't ride around with that Ziploc in your car, Zach.
Some fun pictures around where I was. Fuck. whenever I first got my scale and I was measuring shit out, some people asked me, "What the fuck are you doing, bud?" Oh, dealing some fucking sodium nitrate,
Breaking Bad.
Right.
You got beakers, graduated cylinders, magnetic stirrers.
It's
whole
pretty
chemistry
damning,
set.
isn't it? It's pretty fucking damning.
But anyways, back to Jim's initial question, or wanting to know. I'm doing 20 mils of potassium chloride to raise it 10 ppm a day. Phosphate, I'm doing 0.03 ppm, and then nitrates, I'm doing like every other day, like 2.5. I need to take a nutrient. I need to test again. God damn it. I need to test again. But I also turned on my feeding to 3 feedings a day versus 2.
So where do you get the chemicals for those? It's been a couple years since I messed with phosphate or nitrate dosing, but I would get them from Loud Wolf. And I think Loud Wolf no longer sells sodium nitrate because people can use it to
kill themselves.
Yeah.
Yeah. Amazon, the place for everything. I'm not kidding. I could show you the purchase history. So this is due to energy. Technically, stick grade, but it says many impurity. I also took a look at the SDS, MSDS, and there's no nothing questionable. This is also a what the fuck? Prescribed for Life has a lot of shit. Like if you go on their Amazon store, they have a bunch of different stuff. They're also like into the fucking loony type clean eating type shit.
Wait, is that the shit that people take to kill themselves? Prescribed for
sodium,
life?
No, sodium nitrate.
Oh.
Zach, have you ever considered just adding more fish to your tank?
More what? Fish? Honestly, yeah, but I don't like the idea. I don't like having things like that out of my control. Like too many fish. I feel like it's like the right balance right now for all the fish. I feel like if I got a second system, I would get more fish, obviously, to be able to fill out that system or that display. But right now, I don't want more fish. It's a nice community. I don't need things stressed or pissed off or acting funny.
Yeah,
just put whatever you want in there. It'll only grow to the size of the tank.
Yeah, right.
We black tip.
But no, I don't know. I mean, everything's just been growing. I'm going the direction I'm going. I honestly feel like I have more control with this. I feel like the more I have hands on, the less likely I'm going to have autopilot going, and the less likely that I'm not going to catch something. Like this type of the direction I'm going, I'm going to catch something because I'm hands on every day. I'm looking every single day. I'm looking at it multiple times throughout the day. I don't know if what I'm saying is coming out or coming through in the way I'm hoping it portrays it, but like if I put it on too much of an autopilot, I'm not going to look at it. I'm not going to pay attention. So this is one way that I've stayed engaged. To further comment on Jim's other husbandry questions, water changes bi-weekly, so 2 times a month. Those zip ties are 5-gallon marks, 5-gallon tips. It's 5, 10, 15, 20, probably about 22 gallons in there. So we'll mix it for that. Those black hoses, we run over, we fill up. So that tank, the salt mixing bin, is taller and will gravity fill the sump. To take out water, some water on the floor. So take out water. Have you ever seen electric transfer pumps? Where the fuck's that go? Must be in the room. Oh yeah, it is. Electric transfer pump. This guy. That's my water change pump. So I'll stick it in, and it'll suck it up. So, any other questions?
Do you have a drain in that room just to go straight down, or do you use buckets?
No, so sorry, just spill some water on the ground.
Just drill a big hole in the window frame. Just stick it straight out there.
I used to go out the door. No, so it's this jug, 5-gallon jug. Yeah, so that's that. Pretty much this bathroom right next to the whatever is my fuck around room.
How do you get fresh salt water back into the system?
So, what the fuck? So I'm a real crystal believer.
Dark crystals.
So there's a little valve under here. Find that valve and take this line, and you drape it over, and you just turn the valve, and it fills. So that's my water change.
Oh, so that's quite simple then.
Yeah, dummy proof it.
I quite like your attitude of the hands-on approach, and if you're doing everything all day, every day, then you're going to see stuff really quickly if it goes out of whack.
Yep, 100%. I have to be like that. If I didn't, if I went on autopilot during my depression would just let the tank run itself into the ground. So I can't allow that. So, no. Definitely a lot. Go ahead. Sorry, Jordan.
No, I was just gonna say I admire like your experience to be able to like micromanage your tank, because I'm still in my 1 year, 2 year mark, and I leave it the fuck alone because I know that I'm gonna get like some impulsive like, oh, I'll add this and just fuck everything up. So the fact that you can micromanage it and still have it look amazing is awesome.
So that's going to be a video I can share. I mentioned him earlier, Abe. Early on, a friend turned me on to him. NSB Matt, actually, he's a really good dude. Matt is a good dude as well. Abe's one video was pretty much about that. Is like, keep the fucking hands out of your tank. Like, so I keep my hands out of the tank. I maybe once a week will put my hands on the tank if something's moved, or something needs picked up, or maybe just scrub the glass. Because I have these are melamine. It's just like knockoff magic erasers. You can bulk buy them on Amazon for like $20. There's like 50 of them here. So I make additions, manual dosing, and other things like that based on testing, but I keep my hands out of the tank. Regular maintenance bi-weekly. I don't fuck with the lights. Once a coral's placed, it's placed. I'll pay attention to it if it seems like it's not doing well. And fortunately, with the tiles, I can move things for the most part. I have a little bit of a cramping issue, but still, it's doable.
And with all the lights, have you measured the par? Because I mean, if you had all of those cranked way up, that's a ton of light.
Oh, 100%. So I know the settings I'm at, I would say upper portions where SPS is, probably something like 3 to 350 par. It's been a while, and I did tweak my settings, but I was getting like 200 in that area. Like, essentially, like, take a look. So like those areas were getting baked. That's why I'm like okay with having SPS on the bottom. LPS, it's under the rock. LPS under the rock. So like, this is going back to earlier what I was talking about, like having an understanding of where the hell your shit is. LPS under a rock. Like everything else, for the most part, it's baked or completely fine with getting baked. LPS wise. Um, yeah, no, I did it. I need to do it again. I'd like to do it again. It's just such a pain in the dick to reach out to the club, the local club, to get the meter. So it's just not really worth bothering. I'd like to measure it again, just to get an idea what the outputs are. But I love Duncan's.
Cool. Well, I'll send my par meter your way
All
when
right.
I get it back.
I hate asking, but
I'm offering.
Who are you then?
Just a fly in the ointment, Hans. The monkey in the wrench. The pain in the ass.
South Canada.
I absolutely love this piece.
Do you have the name?
I want to say it's something Cadillac. I want to say it's Cadillac or trying to remember. I'll have to take a look at my pictures later. From the site, the buy site. But no, I don't know, man. Just really admiring everything. Doesn't feel real still. It's just weird to see it. Like I've had this piece about 2 years now. Same with that piece. And that guy in the back and that guy there and guy here. I've had all those for upwards of about 2 years, about a year and a half.
Did you make those little domes yourself?
So some of them I did, some of them I didn't. So those with the holes on the side I didn't. I had two different buyers where there were multi holes. That's one seller. Single holes. That's one seller. Those are my DIY ones. DIY. So it's pretty cool to see the core line taking off faster on them than I had witnessed on the pre-made domes by other people. So like this is hydraulic cement, acrylic fortifier in a proper portion.
Did you add a little novum to it?
What now?
Did you add a little novum to it?
Oh, yeah. I crushed it up and made a line.
You crushed
Is that
up bones?
200 or 300% faster growth?
I'm actually beating their growth. I'm getting 400% faster growth. So yeah, no. No, I like my domes. I'd like to be able to make plates too. But whenever I was at the track swap, honestly, I like the plates that I got from the guy. It was like, I think it was like 20 plates or something like that for like $10. They're easy to glue to. They're, I don't know, nice. As nice as a plate could be, I guess. I don't know. It's weird.
So just cure them before he ships them then? Because I had a disaster years ago where the guy was actually making them to order. The cement wasn't even properly cured. I was getting them out the bag and I had like powdered cement on my hands, and I put a couple in my sump to try and season them and the tank just went to shit.
The pH shoot up.
Yeah, it was fucking bonkers though, like tank killing stuff. So I just stopped buying them. I made my own, and they're still curing. That's about a year and a half. I'm just still too scared to use them.
Put them in your toilet tank.
Really?
Yep.
So that's funny to hear that. These two never cured. Well, I don't want to say never cured. So they cured, but they never, as Russ just mentioned, never went through the toilet tank treatment, like the continuous flushing or the rinsing, right? Same with that guy. That guy was more recent, but as you can see, core line taking off on it. So
I wonder if it's also dependent on the cement mix or concrete mix you use, because a lot of different
right,
a lot of different ways to do it, a lot of different chemical reactions, I'd imagine.
So like a lot of people, they'll do Portland. I never fucked with Portland. These, like I said, are hydraulic cement. And the hydraulic cement, it's mixed with something called an acrylic fortifier. I'm fairly certain, if I remember right, reading on it, on how to do this, was added to make it more water resistant. So like water.
So that. Oh, sorry. Go ahead.
No, go ahead. Go ahead. Go ahead.
That whole Marco
Yes.
rocks bonding stuff, it's
Yep.
just some kind of hydraulic cement with like an acryl 77
Yep.
something. So it sounds like you
Plasticizer.
DIY'd it.
Yep. That was my goal. That shit is fucking expensive.
Yeah, but it's absolutely
how much is that?
amazing.
Oh, 100%. Like, trust me, I'd love to have worked with it, but like, I, whenever I can figure things out, it's hard for me to justify cost. I mean, I'm one of those guys, like, if I like something enough, and if it's well within my means, I'll spend the money. But if I have the ability to learn and do something, like, I'm gonna fucking do that. But that's just me.
Can I have your exact recipe you used for them then? Because I want to try and make Mona again.
Yeah, sure. I'll have to dig into it and see if I can find it again. Like, this isn't being like fucking top secret about it. It's just, I don't think I
really
really
appreciate it. The first mistake I made was I used Carib Sea live sand, didn't rinse it, so the salt that was actually inside it made the cement completely fucked. So they fell apart, taking them out the molds. And then the second time I used just standard cement, and I'm too scared to use them.
So here, we're gonna go on a trip. Hey, birds.
The birdies.
All right. Cats.
Cats?
Oh, all right. So concrete shit. I have a couple different ones.
Pretty bird. I wish you had the PD drop there, Ron, from Dumb and Dumber.
It's just having the right thing at the right time. It's almost impossible.
So yeah. So that's all that. Nice.
Oh, there we go. So that's on
the hot tub.
Ooh. Baptist. Yeah, so 300 gallon. I don't know how long it's going to take to ever get to this fucking tank, but we'll get there.
But it's there, ready to go when you're ready.
Pretty much.
And is it going to be its own standalone system, or is it going to be plumbed into the other one?
No, I'd like it to be standalone, to be honest. I'd like, honestly, so the tank is probably, wait, where's it at?
I'm so jealous of everyone who has a basement.
Jealous of a basement? Jim's basement is the size of my house. In fact, no, hold on. I think Jim's basement is more than twice the size of my entire house footprint we worked out.
Is it your whole lot? Land, everything, driveway?
It's fucking unbelievable, honestly. It's not a rule that you have to get dressed up for a tank tour. You can just be relaxed and be yourself.
Well, I am. I know, I'm dressed like McLean right now.
Fucking love it. Love it. So it's nearly at the end of the tour. You need to get your vest all dirty now. This has been such good fun. Such good fun. I can't believe we've had a full-blown theme the entire tank tour. It's been amazing.
Yeah, it's been something.
Before we wrap this up and just go into chat,
we had a few laughs.
I did have that one somewhere. Fuck. Oh. Does anybody have any other questions for Zach before we wrap up the tour and we can stop recording?
Can we do another one around Christmas time and make it Die Hard 2 themed?
Yeah. Yes.
I would love that.
We've got some time. I actually completely forgot. To be honest, I really wanted to print out a thing that would be John McClane going down the side of the one tank, the bucket, the top bucket.
Yeah, I wanted you to have John McClane with a fire hose just coming down, like the capybara at work.
Yeah, I completely forgot about it. I don't have a printer at home, so.
How did the capybara at work go down? Did it?
Yeah, of course. Yeah, I forgot about the capybara. So someone found it. They did find it, but no one said anything.
So they just ignored the fact that somebody had gone to the trouble to stick a capybara to the back of the work bin.
Yes. Yep.
God.
I'm really surprised. Go ahead.
I loved seeing that because there's always the risk that the boss is going to see that and lose their shit that somebody was getting paid to print that they were on the clock to do that.
It's all just the timing and how the mood is with the boss. Okay, if there's no other questions, we'll wrap this up and then just jump in.
I just want to add that I've been scraping bubble algae for the last 15 minutes because looking at Zach's system, I'm realizing I need to step up my algae removal. So thank you, Zach.
Oh, you're on mute, Zach.
Yeah, that's fine. That's fine. Wait, Alyssa, what's up with the whipped cream? What are you doing here? Yeah, okay, whatever. Anyways.
The whipped cream is for after the tour, Zach. Don't say that in front of everybody. That's just embarrassing.
That tank top's coming off. The whipped cream's coming out.
Thank you so much for the tour, Zach. Sorry,
Thanks,
Mr. McClane.
Zach.
Mr. McClane.
Thanks, Zach.
Yeah, thanks.
I'm going to change.
Love your system.
I'm going to change my name back from Gennaro to McClane again, just to make it official that we're back together, Zach.
Okay.
Catch his lair.
All right. Yeah, I'll talk to you in a bit.
Thanks, Zach.
Yep. Thanks.
I'm going to count to 3. There will not be a 4.
She also has penises in her ears, I've heard.
Yeah, trick ears.